How we doing out there? So, just on a wander, a Stevie Wonder. Just gonna, I like doing my walks. So today's upgrade, what I want to share is just the concept of fighting and boxing, amateur and professional. St Paul's, Mick Bromby and Tony Hindley, great guys, Phil Knight, and just how you get these characters around you at a young age, like 24, then moving into the boxing professional. No, that was a Barney. Yeah, just who got me? That was Boovy. Boovy got me into boxing professional. He used to take me to Police Boys. Always told me to go to the right so I could get his left jab going. But yeah, amazing character building days when I look back. Fleety, Eddie Cook, yeah, Lance Dooley, and Terry Morrell, great guy. And if I forgot anybody, it's because I took a few punches back in the day. But what I want to share is just how I retired from boxing to work with kids. And in '97, when Dave King opened the door for me at Fountain House School, and Benny Bilstein, some great characters there. When I got to work with these kids, and actually it was Benny that gave me that book on Brain Gym. I've still got it, Benny. And just how young people through those school years tend to switch off, because the right brain is more connected to the heart for rational emotional awareness and intelligence, and it absorbs sensory information. And what happens with the right brain is when we've got a lot of excessive information coming in, you look at the technological information world that we're living in, it's just excessive for processing. But what happens is when you think about a kid or a young person in a classroom for all that time in a day, it's excessive. Filling your knowledge box, class after class, but it's understandable. It's like we've got to go through the process, structure, learning, and it's fascinating. But what I noticed was, I started working with Janet Illich with Brain Gym, and I started to recognise that these kids were switching off. The right brain was switching off, and they were more stuck in the left brain, the logic brain, and that. What was fascinating was when I started taking them into the boxing gym, I started switching them back on, the left and the right brain, whole brain function, and using some of the techniques that Janet had given me. And it was just fascinating just to see and start to study stress and how many young people go through that process of thinking there's something wrong with them when that right brain switches off, and we have blocked pathways in the brain where we're struggling, with listening skills and memory, and all of these elements are the right brain switching off, which is more connected, like I say, to the heart. Whole brain function is, for me, was the key to really get back in that heart space for processing. But what was fascinating to me in this process is just these interesting labels that pop up. ADD, OCD. It was just fascinating to me because I look back at my school, and when I left in the last year, I did switch off. So I could relate to these kids, and when I did switch off, I did have ADD, but it was an attention to a deeper direction. I was the one looking out the classroom, just daydreaming. I was in a dream state. But that's what we kind of lose when we spend a lot of time in our heads, in the classroom of the mind. We disconnect from the body, and we disconnect from the real source that brought us here. The universe, the universal flow. And what's fascinating is, throughout my life, when I was working with these kids, I was just seeing what great change they could make by just moving their bodies holistically and learning to strengthen both sides, the left and the right brain, and just getting to that physical awareness of crossing over the left and the right hemispheres and activating all brain function. But really fascinating, because that's been a big success around my work. And as I've gone through life and developed my own concepts through energy-wise and box-wise and stress-wise and mind-wise and tech-wise and neutral-wise, all of these elements have come from me really just consistently moving. Even when I finished boxing, I just had a passion to release and recharge and really, just stay grounded. stay grounded and just co-create. So I wanted to share that. And oh yeah, let me just share. I had OCD as well throughout life. I was on, committed and driven to keep going, which has brought me to this very place. It's a part of everything that I've done. So I wanted to share that today, just the character building of boxing, but how it switches you on and tunes you in, and how it grounds you, and how you feel more in your body, and that self-awareness. And how a lot of kids in today's world are going through the process of switching off, thinking there's something wrong with them when they just need to switch back on. And a big thank you to Janet Illich, who really got me on that road to being more creative with the boxing system I had. I started to develop 25 years ago. So have a great day. I wanted to share that. It just came across. I just wanted to kind of just share some perspective, spread some love, and have a great day.